Ladies and gentlemen and students, welcome to the St. Aidan's Anglican Girls' School Annual Awards Ceremony. Before we begin the formalities of the evening, I would ask you all to check that your mobile phone is turned off or on silent. Thank you. Would you please stand for the official party?
As we gather in this place of celebration, we acknowledge the Jagera people, the traditional custodians of this land, and their elders past and present. We honour the connection the traditional custodians have with this land. Let us pray. God of life and learning, we give you thanks and praise for the ministry of St. Aidan's Anglican Girls' School, and especially for all members of the St. Aidan's community who are here tonight. As we gather to celebrate the achievements of the academic year, we thank you that we live in a place of freedom and social order, where we value and acknowledge the worth of all people. Even as we strive to provide excellence in education and to nurture and shape each of our students by Christian values, may we always seek wisdom above knowledge and service above recognition. Grant us, loving God, the ability to minister to one another with grace and truth. These things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Would you please be seated?
As we begin our ceremony this evening, I would like to take this opportunity to pay respect to the original inhabitants on the land on which we stand, and to give honour to the elders, old and new, of the Yagara and Turrbal people. Mother Eunice and the Sisters of the Society of the Sacred Advent, Bishop Jonathan Holland, Chair of the Sisters Trust and Principal of St. Francis College, Executive Director, Ministry Education Commission, Reverend Jan Crombie, School Captain in 1973, Reverend Paul Bland, Chair of School Council, members of the School Council and members of the Sisters Trust, Dr. Kate Stringer, invited guests, Mrs. Spiller, staff, family and friends. Welcome to the 2016 Annual Awards Ceremony. Thank you to the Vivaldi Strings and Symphony Strings for their rendition of Excalibur by Brisbane composer Stephen Chin. The opening of this piece creates a sense of mystery and foreboding as King Arthur's sword Excalibur rises from the waters. A sword dance follows, and one can just picture the clash of weapons and armour. There is no doubt that the thrilling finale caught everyone's attention. Would you please join with me in thanking again all members of the Vivaldi and Symphony Strings. Now, it is with great pleasure this evening that I invite Reverend Paul Bland, Chair of School Council, to present his report. Please welcome Reverend Paul.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Council of the School is commissioned by the Sisters of the Society of the Sacred Advent to act on their behalf in the oversight of St. Aidan's. The members of the Council work quietly, just as the Sisters still work quietly, to support the principal, the staff and the whole school family. The work of Council represents many hours of unpaid service to the school family, and I thank them sincerely for their commitment and loyalty over the last year. Some of the most important work is well known to you, and the building next year of the Innovation and Design Hub, so long in the planning and preparation, will be a major dream fulfilled of this council. Some other achievements in 2016 are less well known perhaps, and entirely unexpected. Council found itself with the opportunity to purchase 2 properties adjoining the junior school campus. The acquisition of these properties brings closer the fulfilment of the school's master plan, an ambitious and far-sighted reimagining of the fabric of the school that will take us well into the future. I want this evening to acknowledge 2 members of the Council who are retiring from office in December. As the chair of the Finance Committee, Mr. Jeff Hurst has steered us through some difficult and challenging situations with a cool head and a deep understanding of the way in which the ethos of our culture relates to the financial viability of the school. We will miss Jeff's ability to match attention to detail with a big picture understanding of the direction of the school. Mrs. Wendy McMillan's leadership of the Building and Grounds Committee will have an ongoing impact on the life of the school for many years to come. It was Wendy's energy and vision that has shaped the school's master plan in general and the new Innovation Design Arts Precinct in particular. So thank you, Wendy and Jeff, for your years of service to the Council. In closing, let me congratulate the principal and all the staff on their faithful service this year. We are all of us stewards of the vision of the Sisters who founded our school and who brought such great hopes to it over the years of its service to you, the school family.
Thank you, Reverend Paul Bland, for your report. It gives me great pleasure to introduce a montage of events captured throughout the year to provide us with a visual representation of the 2016 year in review.
'16 has been another action-packed year for St Aidan's and our wider school community, Again, St Aidan's has achieved strong academic results, excelled in many extracurricular activities, and ensured that our faith underpins all that we do.
We have celebrated all of the major Christian festivals such as Holy Week, Christmas, St Francis Day and the Blessing of the Animals, St Aidan's Day, as well as key school events such as the Senior Leaders and Year 6 Induction Eucharist and Year Level services.
Earlier this year, the junior school Earth Angels Environmental Group were featured in a segment of Totally Wild, and they also achieved a second place at the ECA for the school garden competition.
The junior school girls were awarded Champion School of Show at the 2016 Royal Queensland Show for their artwork. 20 of the junior school girls won individual prizes.
A group of Year 10 students attended the One World Wongtong Youth Conference on Poverty and Development, organised by the Mission Organisations, Anglican Board of Mission Australia and Unity World.
Ascension Day saw the school welcoming back 5 girls for their 60th reunion and 1 lady to celebrate her 70th. 2 Day 1 students, Helen Barrett and Betty Park, also attended.
The blessing of the boats occurred in anticipation of the 2016 rowing season. 3 Year 5 students were baptised and 16 students made their first communion in our chapel.
A new award was created this year, Patron of the School. Mrs. Cheryl Parkin, past register, was appointed in this role to join the school as an honoured member of our community.
The 4th edition of the Born to Fly series was launched in October, profiling a further 14 of our past students across all walks of life, years and generations.
Recently, we launched the Innovation and Design Hub campaign, a project set to transform our school and provide first-class facilities for generations to come. The Innovation and Design Hub is scheduled to open to students in July 2017.
The reason this is so important is to provide a space for inspiration and creativity so our girls are well equipped for jobs of the future.
For over 87 years, St Aidan's has had a rich history of academic success.
The 2015 seniors achieved strong OP results once again, with 42% achieving an OP of 1 to 5.
The OP results show St Aidan's is well above the state average in all OP categories and is one of the top performing independent schools in Queensland. In fact, the percentages of OP1s was the highest of any girls' school.
Our junior school girls once again achieved outstanding results in the NAPLAN testing, with all year levels achieving in the top 5 for the state, the only school in Queensland to do so.
Our Year 3 cohort recorded the state's highest result, Year 5 recorded the state's 5th highest result, and Year 7 and 9 recorded the state's 3rd highest result. The Year 9 Readers' Cup team won the annual Brisbane West's Inter-School Readers' Cup competition.
The Pulls Out team, who were the national winners of the Tech Girl Superhero competition last year, was sponsored by Technology One to attend the Technovation World Pitch Summit in San Francisco.
Year 8 Science Elective students won an Encouragement Award for the most ornate sunflower at the Sunflower Growing Competition at Gatton.
The Archer Templeton Science and Technology Centre came alive when the students from Kindy to Year 6 showcased their skills, knowledge and love for all things science at the Bright Sparks Science and Technology Showcase.
A number of girls travelled overseas and represented St Aidan's at our sister schools abroad. Year 8 girls travelled to Adelaide and Hobart, Year 9 to Melbourne and Hong Kong, and Year 10 to South Africa.
31 girls and 4 teachers travelled to New Zealand in March as part of the Volar Ensembles tour, performing at 4 different schools and sharing in a large performance in the Anglican Cathedral in Auckland with St Cuthbert's School and Westlake Girls' School. 12 musicians from St Aidan's participated in the Anglican Schools Music Festival. The Volar Strings and Volar Harp Girls performed for the Queensland President's Dinner of the National Council of Women at the Victoria Park Golf Complex. Ensemble Volar also won a silver medal at the Queensland Youth Music Awards competition. Ensemble Volar participated in the annual Spring Sing hosted by a local choir in Toowoomba and performed in a lunchtime concert as part of the Leukemia National Conference in St John's Cathedral. Students in Ensemble Volar Choir performed in a shared concert with musicians from the Sydney Conservatorium High School, Avondale Conservatorium and St Lawrence's College.
We've been lucky enough to experience a whirlwind of excitement for and success in debating this year.
Not only did we have as many as 6 Year 7 teams enter the Junior QDU competition, we had 6 senior teams making it through to the finals, with Team 9.1 making it through to the quarterfinals.
And Megan Hood won the public speaking section of the Lions Youth of the Year competition.
St Aidan's once again had a strong presence at Anzac Day services in the local area.
A number of our students took part in the Melanoma March, run by the Melanoma Institute of Australia, raising awareness and funds for research.
The St Aidan's team, who participated in the International Women's Day Fun Run, raised $7,500 with 315 participants.
We won the trophy for the largest school team and the largest fundraising school team for the 4th year in a row.
The 2016 Mad Night and Twilight Fair was held, with all raised funds going to Second Chance, a charity that supports homeless women. Cruise It was held by the Interact Board, with all funds going to Headspace.
The Year 10 cohort collected items from the school community to make Christmas hampers for Anglican, giving them to families in need over the holiday season.
From Kindy to Year 6, 100 girls participated in the National Walk Safely to School Day, encouraging walking and commuting to school safely.
Penguin Aid held a charity craft stall, selling homemade items from Flowers of Compassion, raising funds to provide women with a form of employment in rural South Africa.
100 students from the junior school participated in Train to School Morning to encourage confidence and safety when travelling to and from school.
St Aidan's won the Percentage Cup and placed 3rd overall at QGSSA Cross Country.
The largest athletics team St Aidan's has ever fielded won the Del Mullafoot Percentage Cup and placed 3rd in the Aggregate Cup at QGSSA Athletics.
The 17 years team won their division with 10 individual victories, including a clean sweep of the 100-metre events and both relays.
Maddie Atley, Katie Colburn, Sashini Gotamuni and Camilla Nondang won the 4x100 relay at the Queensland Athletics competition.
This is the 3rd year in a row that St Aidan's has been named the fastest school in Queensland for the relay.
St Aidan's were crowned the 2016 UQ Great Court Relay Champions.
At the Queensland All Schools Cross Country Relays, St Aidan's won 3 out of 6 gold medals.
The equestrian team won Interschool Team of the Year award at the 2015 Queensland Equestrian Annual Awards evening at the start of the year.
The Open Gymnastics team won their Premier Division at the 51st Annual QGSSA Championships.
The A grade team placed 2nd by 0.3 points, and the B grade team won their division for the 2nd year running.
Abby Scott was equal top scoring gymnast on the vault, and Lily Van Gilst scored a perfect 10 on beam.
The junior hockey team placed 3rd in the QGSSA competition.
The Open Netball squad won Under 19 Pool 2 competition at the Waverley International Schools Netball Championship in Melbourne and came 2nd in the QGSSA competition.
The 2016 touch football team was the biggest yet, consisting of 120 girls, which is nearly 25% of the senior school.
The 8A touch team placed 3rd overall in the QGSSA competition.
At the Queensland Schools State Rowing Championship, the Open Quad won gold, the Open 4 won silver, and Emily Evans won bronze in the Under 16 single scull. The QGSSA autumn fixtures, our Year 7 and 8 football team placed 3rd in the junior division.
The 8B basketball team placed 1st in the QGSSA competition, and the 8A team placed equal 2nd. The Open Junior A and Junior B tennis teams finished the QGSSA season as undefeated premiers.
Millicent Morrison-Davies received the prestigious Pierre de Coubertin Award at the Queensland Olympic Council.
Shelby Welsh was crowned 13 years age champion at our inter-house swimming, cross-country and athletics.
The junior school placed 2nd in the Percentage Cup at Andrews Cup Athletics.
The Andrews Cup Open A tennis team won the premiership and Open B placed 3rd.
St Aidan's placed 3rd in the Percentage Cup at the Andrews Cup Cross Country.
The Year 6 white and Year 5 white netball teams placed 1st in the Walter Taylor Bridge competition, and the Andrews Cup Open and B team placed 3rd in the final competition.
It gives me great pleasure to now introduce a music performance by the Symphony Strings and Concert Band under the direction of Mr. Adrian Moran. Students from both the Concert Band and Symphony Strings will join to bring you Richard Meyer's arrangement of Beethoven's iconic Egmont Overture. Composed in 1810, Egmont Overture is the first of a set of incidental music pieces for the 1787 play of the same name by Goethe. The subject of the music and dramatic narrative is the life and heroism of a 16th century Dutch nobleman, the Count of Egmont. It was composed during the Napoleonic Wars, a time when the French Empire had extended its dominion over most of Europe. Please welcome the students and their director, Mr. Moran, to the stage. After this performance, the school captain, Miss Lucy Clark, will present her report. But first, the Symphony Strings and Concert Band.
The St Aidan's 2016 Year 12 cohort stand at the crossroads of possibility and opportunity, eager to embark on a new, exciting and prosperous chapter of our lives. We stand together at the brink of graduation, our diligent schoolwork mastered, and friendships forged that will be cherished for a lifetime. Some of our supervising Inspector Generals, known to those outside of the intelligence as St Aidan's Year 12 girls, are ready and willing to leave the force, having successfully completed their missions. Whereas others uncertain, apprehensive about leaving the agency, their future life missions remaining classified and unseen even to themselves. Regardless of our stance, this is an exhilarating and promising time in our lives. In 4 days, we will graduate from St Aidan's as former Aidan's agents. Tonight is a very special night to showcase outstanding talents and congratulate the incredible award recipients. Tonight is an opportunity to experience what it means to be a part of the St Aidan's community, to be an Aidan's girl. Good evening, special guests, members of the St Aidan's community, families and friends. In case it wasn't previously evident, St Aidan's Agents was our 2016 school theme, and our ultimate mission was to achieve unity within our school community. The dedication and enthusiasm showcased by our 2016 student leaders, in conjunction with the support from a passionate and diligent Year 12 cohort and teaching staff, enabled the successful completion of this mission. Our theme posed a relatable and intriguing way to create an inclusive environment within our school. Under the constant guidance of our chief supervisors, staff and teachers, our agents have taken part in many new and exciting activities which enabled the introduction and continuation of initiatives that promoted the importance of unity and support between those in our school community and the wider community. St Aidan's is a school like no other. With a student population of approximately 700 students, girls have the ability to establish unique and rewarding connections with students not only in their own year group, but also those both younger and older. Upon Googling what defines an agent, the following definitions surfaced. Firstly, an agent is the case officer designated to perform an operational act during a clandestine operation, especially in hostile territory. And secondly, an agent performs some information gathering or processing task in the background. Typically, an agent is given a very small and well-defined task. Whilst these definitions hold true, I believe an agent, especially a St Aidan's agent, is indisputably much more than that. An Aidan's agent is a girl who is truly born to fly upwards. We are assigned both small and large tasks, and despite whether we pass or fail these missions, we obtain invaluable life skills, memories, and lessons. Since commencing at St Aidan's in 2011, I have had the privilege of engaging in the abundance of opportunities that are offered, which include academic, cultural, sporting, spiritual, performing arts, and community aspects of the school, solidifying my intergrade bonds and friendships. I have witnessed the sheer passion and devotion that the staff and teachers relentlessly demonstrate with regards to our education. We are all so incredibly fortunate to attend such a tight-knit, unique, and nurturing school. A heartbreaking 2/3 of the 774 million illiterate people in the world are female. That is 526 women who are unable to read and write. I believe the statistic truly encapsulates how immensely privileged we all are to have the opportunity of an education, let alone a school that is a passionate advocate for women's education. I resonate with the wise words of Sir Francis Bacon, "Knowledge itself is power." Whilst my time at St Aidan's is drawing to a close, this year has been unforgettable and an honour to be a part of. Aidan's agents would not have been so successful and rewarding had it not been for the support, passion, dedication, and enthusiasm of numerous people. I would like to sincerely acknowledge and thank Miss Sullivan, Miss Gorey, Miss Church, Miss Wise, Miss Tidmarsh, the Year 12 form teachers, Mrs. Robinson, Mrs. Spiller, Miss Reardon, Reverend Gillian, Mrs. Wickham, and the entire St Aidan's staff. Your guidance and unrelenting assistance has been instrumental to this year's success, and what you have taught us is truly invaluable. Your passion and integrity has prepared us well for our future endeavours and made our time at St Aidan's both rewarding and memorable. To my Deputy Director, Vice Captain of the school, Georgie, you have made this year one of the best of my life. We have become so much closer through this leadership process, and you are someone who truly inspires and surprises me each and every day. Your infectious humour, enthusiasm, love and support are some of the many things that I admire about you. You have been a great source of wisdom and knowledge, and no task was ever too great or challenging to attempt and complete. You have been beside me every step of the way and have truly become like another sister to me. To my Inspector Generals, the prefects, thank you for your persistent support and enthusiasm. Each and every one of you have an infinite amount to offer, and your creativity and ideas have made this year truly special and fulfilling. To my Supervising Inspector Generals, the Year 12s, it has been a tremendous privilege to be your school captain this year, and all that I have asked for is that I made you proud. Each and every one of you are so beautiful and inspiring. I couldn't have asked for a better group of girls to lead and graduate with. To my senior special agents, junior special agents, field agents and trainee agents, thank you for your smiling faces, unwavering support and welcoming presence. I wish you all the very best for the future. You have made St Aidan's a second home for me, and I am sure numerous others. To the 2017 school leaders in cohort, in particular Annalise and Remaz, I wish you every success for next year, and I know that you will all make us proud. Cherish next year, it flies by faster than you can imagine. And finally, to my family, I could not have completed this year without you. Your unfaltering love and dedication, regardless of how grumpy, tired, or stressed I was, made me a better person each and every day. Especially to my mum and dad, you are both my rocks, and I am eternally grateful for your support, guidance, and the countless sacrifices that you have selflessly endured for me. To all of the girls who are receiving awards tonight, embrace this exciting and gratifying moment. Your zealous, hard work, talent, and persistence are being recognised, and it is your time to shine. I will be forever grateful for St Aidan's for shaping me into the woman that I am today, and giving me the gift of education and memories that will remain in my heart for an eternity. To echo the words of Nelson Mandela, education is the most important weapon which you can use to change the world. I implore each of you to embrace this tool with both hands and believe you can make a change, make a difference. Thank you.
On behalf of all Year 12s, I thank you, Luce, for those significant words and for being our 2016 school captain. Throughout this year, I have had the absolute honour of working together with one of the most talented and thoughtful people I know. I have not only gained valuable life skills and relished in the wonderful opportunities our incredible school has to offer, but I have gained a best friend. A best friend who I know I can always count on, no matter how late the calls, texts, or emails are. Lucy is an inspiration to us all and has led our school by example. We have both started our journey in the junior school and are now graduating in 4 days' time, and I could not imagine having anyone else by my side. This year has been one of our greatest adventures, and I know that I speak on behalf of all Year 12s how proud we are of you. So once again, please join with me in thanking Lucy. I would now like to invite our Deputy Principal, Mrs. Reardon, forward to announce the special prizes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and students of St Aidan's. It gives me great pleasure to announce the special awards this evening, and I invite Mother Eunice forward to help present the awards. If I can also draw your attention to your programs, the description and acknowledgements for these special awards are listed there at the back of the program. To begin, the Adam Family Award for the highest achieving student in Year 12 German, Grace Nakarishi Lind. The Archbishop's Award for Most Improved Student of Year 12, Isabella Smith. The Archdeacon Massey Memorial Bursary in Year 10, Alice Bowman. The Archdeacon Massey Memorial Prize in Year 8 is Georgina Whittle. The Arts Captain Prize, which is a shared prize, and the Principal's Award for Excellence in Year 12 Art, Amelia Gibbs. The Arts Captain Prize, shared prize, Sally Stevens. The Award for Consistency and Effort, Isini Muthamuni. Award for Contribution to Debating, Laura Milton. The Award for Contribution to Debating, shared, Candice Shea Robinson. The Award for Contribution to Music in the School, Sarah Rogers. Award for Junior Debating, Joanna Figueredo. Award for Public Speaking, Megan Hood. Award for Sports Captains, Alexandra Nothdurft. And shared with Raquel Spies. The Best All-Rounder in Year 7, Arsini Jayasuriya. The BJ Steps to Learning Trophy, Bridget Pyman. The Caltex Best All-Rounder Award, Camila Noandeng. The Citizenship Prize donated by Jindalee Rotary and the Spirit of Stage Award shared, Siobhan Brody. Contribution to School Life and Citizenship Prize and the Pierre de Coubertin Award, Millicent Morrison Davies. Excellence in Music in the Senior School and the Sherwood Intrapilli RSL Sub-Branch Citizenship Prize, Jenny Gunnison. The Gargett Prize for Citizenship and Sporting Spirit in Year 11 and the Joyce Barrett Memorial Award, Gabriella Cooper. The Gillian Smith Memorial Prize for All-Round Achievement in Year 10, Phoebe McAuliffe. The Mari Coonahan Memorial Prize for Librarianship, Lauren Bailey. Marjorie Neal Award for All-Round Achievement in Year 9, Ella Lau. Most Improved English as an Additional Dialect, Yingshan Cheng. Patricia Evans Award for All-Round Achievement in Year 11, Isabella Wong. Richard Hooker Prize, Sarah Gurman. Sherwood Indrapelli RSL Sub-Branch Citizenship Prize for Year 6, Rosie Sellers. The Sherwood Services Club Award for Community Service in Junior Secondary and the Jean Thompson Heslop Prize for English in Year 10, Kira O'Sullivan. Sherwood Services Club Award for Community, Service, Leadership, Perseverance and Reliability in Senior Secondary, Georgina Hazenberg. The Alison Morris Memorial Award, Ella Morrison. The Australian Defence Forces Leadership and Team Awards for Year 10, Lily Van Gilst. And in Year 12, Sasha Paulin. The Exceptional Young Leaders Award, Georgia Douglas. The Joy Rogenkamp Memorial Prize for Year 12 Art, which is shared, and tonight the inaugural Jezebel Clark Photography Award presented by Paul Clark, Georgia Jacobson. The Joy Rogenkamp Memorial Prize for Year 12 Art shared, Joanna Gale. The Liza Allen Award for Year 12 Chinese, Amy Royce. The Outstanding Academic Achievement Award, Ruby Turner. The Pam Harper Memorial Trophy Award for consistently outstanding performance in drama, Paris Irwin. The Price Award, Isabel Jarasek. The Principal's Award for All-Round Contribution to and Excellence in Music, Bronwyn Van Wyck. The Reverend Trevor Cicero Christian Living Award, Eleanor Pekira. The Spirit of Stage Award Shared Prize, Charlotte Wilson. The Walker Memorial Prize for Sporting Spirit, Susanna Hutchinson. That concludes our special awards, and I invite Mrs. Spiller forward to present our leaders.
Good evening, members and guests of the St Aidan's School community. I also would like to pay my respects to the original inhabitants of the land on which we stand and give honour to the elders, past, present and future, of the Yagara and Turrbal people. As we honour tonight and recognise the outstanding achievements of so many of our students across the junior and the senior schools, we also want to recognise and congratulate our leaders of 2016 for their very fine leadership this night, or this year I should say. It's with pleasure that I invite these girls forward to be recognised. Our sports captains, Alexandra Nofdurft and Raquel Spies. Music captains, Paris Irwin and Sarah Rogers. Debating captains, Laura Milton and Candice Shea Robinson. House co-captains, Austin House, Kate Flanagan and Amelia Lewis. Barrett House, Joanna Gale and Isabel Pugh. Bronte, Lily Fuller and Bree Morse. Cavill House, Brittany Cheadle and Emma Stubbs. Heartland, Claire Hood and Jemima Walker. And Nightingale House, Emma Fry and Kathleen Kendall. Our sacristans in 2016, Maylis Loth and Eleanor Picaria. And our prefects, Siobhan Brodie, Alexandra Brunello, Lucy Clark, Jenny Gunnison, Georgina Hazenberg, Susanna Hutchinson, Megan Hood, Georgia Jacobson, Madison Crummell, Malia McCarthy, Millicent Morrison-Davies, Camilla Noandang, Sasha Paulin, Eliza Sherrington and Leilani Wright. And of course our school vice captain Georgia Jacobson and school captain Lucy Clark. Thank you girls for your energetic and purposeful leadership this year. I now invite the senior leaders for 2017 forward. We congratulate these girls on their appointment and wish them and the entire Year 11 group the very best for the busy year ahead. We are confident that these young women will be fine examples for all of us. Our sports captains, Romany Beckinsale and Kate Russell. Music captains, Erin Park and Ruby Turner. Debating captains, Amelia Anderson and Natasha Horton. Our house co-captains, Austin House, Keely Brannigan and Kimberly Bessinger. Barrett House, Lara Thornton and Georgia Traynor. Bronte, Hannah Robinson and Donna Tromp. Cavill, Georgia Goffage and Sarah Thompson. Heartland, Sashini Godamuni. And Nightingale, Gina Dankwitz and Tamsin Oswin. Our sacristans, Gabriella Cooper and Abby Scott. And our prefects, Romany Beckinsale, Gabriella Cooper, Alexandra Gerke, Olivia Harris, Ella Morrison, Emma Shutrop, Abby Scott, Rimaz Toto, Isabella Vuong, Melissa Wilcox and Annalise White. And we acknowledge our school vice captain for 2017, Rimaz Toto, and School Captain Annalise White. Thank you, girls. I wish to acknowledge and thank our School Council Chair, Reverend Paul Bland, and all members of Council and Trust and members of associated school bodies, people who give their time so willingly. I add my thanks to that of Father Paul's, to Mrs Wendy McMillan and Mr Jeff Hurst for their dedication to our school on their time on Council and as chairs of the Building and Grounds and Finance Committees respectively. Finally, in these thanks, thank you to all of the St Aidan's staff for their incredible professionalism and commitment again this year. I also acknowledge the leadership of Ms Karen Gorry as she leaves to assume the role of Deputy Principal at St Margaret's. We wish her and our sister school all the very best for the future. John Farnham is one of my favourite singers. Yes, the artist who made a name for himself singing Sadie the Cleaning Lady. Well, I grew up with John, or Johnny as he was then, and perhaps like so many of the parents in the audience, I watched ABC TV shows Uptight, Happening and Countdown every week. One of my favourite songs is the one we just heard a clip from, You're the Voice. Released in 1986, this was #1 on the Australian singles charts and also hit the top 10 internationally. The album from which it comes, Whispering Jack, was #1 for 25 weeks and remains the highest-selling album in Australian history. Aside from the obligatory whoa, 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 the lyrics have a general power to them today as much as they did in 1986, some 30 years ago. The lines, we're all someone's daughter, we're all someone's son, how long can we look at each other down the barrel of a gun, remind us of our common humanity in spite of the colour of our skin or religious belief. The lyrics, this time we know we can all stand together, with the power to be powerful, believing we can make it better, provide the theme for what I want to focus on tonight. And I want to do this in the face of significant research which describes how so many confident young girls become cautious about speaking out and less assertive as they grow into teenagers. Girls lose their voice for a variety of reasons. It's mostly because of their self-esteem, says Martha Mendez Baldwin, an assistant professor of psychology at Manhattan College. Navigating the world between being children and women leaves them unsure of how to act. Combined with the pressure to fit in with their peers and high expectations of parents and society, girls are often reluctant to assert themselves. Girls receive tremendous pressure from society and media to adhere to a feminine role, says senior lecturer in the Department of Psychology and Brain Sciences at Indiana University. The message is to be passive and nice, that it's preferable to keep the peace than to speak up with an opinion that might be unpopular. Psychologist Emily Hancock describes the phenomenon that has become associated with the developmental process in the adolescent female. It is this process by which a self-assured, confident child grows into a self-conscious, insecure teenager, often in what seems like an overnight transformation and much to the dismay of parents and teachers. It has been titled The Loss of Voice or The Confidence Gap, and it is pivotal to the understanding of the unique experience of female development. Although early childhood experiences for young women vary according to family background, cultural heritage, and the neighbourhood environment, women often tell a consistent story about what characteristics define their personalities in childhood. Consider this description of a young girl between the ages of 8 and 10. They speak of this girl as one who pulls on her jeans and gets on her bike to ride to her best friend's house, to build a fort or a tree house. It is at this age that a girl gets her first phone and chooses her own clothes. A superb organiser, she is likely to have her own collection of stamps or stones or shells. She is likely to be an athlete or a ballet dancer, spelling champion and botanist, applauded for being both smart and strong. Her ambitions are boundless. Future archaeologist, would-be oceanographer, firefighter, explorer, astronaut. Her goals are not subject to criticism. Her choices do not yet include losses. Only later will one choice preclude another. She can think, she can plan, she can do. Even though the specifics of the experience are different for each, it is surprising how universal this general picture of a secure young woman is. According to psychologists, the loss of self-esteem is nothing more than the natural process of growing up female and realising that what was once respected and adored is no longer tolerated or accepted. This realisation causes many young women to make dramatic changes in their self-image and behaviour. Carol Gilligan, a Harvard researcher, has called this process hitting the wall, a wall which is made of blocks containing all the negative messages young women receive from society about their bodies, their mind, and their worth. So how do we reconcile my exhortation, and that of John Farnham's, to be the voice, to make a noise, and to believe we can make the world better, and negotiate this developmental pathway of young girls to remain assertive? Well, the good news is that 87 years of St Aidan's girls have gone before you and have challenged the status quo. Through their education at St Aidan's and with the support of their families, they have learnt to keep their voices and have followed the lead of our sisters to work in our local and global community to make a difference in the lives and to stand up for what they believe. And we need you to do this. The wicked problems that my and previous generations leave you as a legacy are many. A recent survey of European Union citizens listed their top 4 concerns as international terrorism, the global economy, climate change, and poverty. In Australia, results from a similar survey include global financial instability, terrorism, and nuclear proliferation. So let's look at our community. Let's look at the people in our community who are using their voice and standing together to create hope for the future, believing they can make it better. There are people like Father Paul, Miss Cameron, and students like Gabby Cooper, Sky Sun, and Sarah Taylor, and many more. They help out each week at Milperra High School, assisting to provide breakfast for the students there who are refugees from all parts of the globe. Or in Year 6, Rosie Sellers, who for the last 2 years has been the Queensland Junior Ambassador for Children's Week. Rosie speaks up for children, most recently on the right for them to have reliable information from the media. St Aidan's girls have an established reputation, runs on the board if you like, for what they have given to others. Clearly following the example of our sisters, thousands of girls have gone into the workforce, into families and into communities, and they've used their voices and their power to make things better. Girls like Brisbane-based mother of 2, Rachel Sakurai, who felt called to travel to Nepal at the end of Year 12 to work in an orphanage there, who continues to visit and sponsor regularly students to attend school, and in 2015 raised over $50,000 for relief after the devastating earthquakes. Or indeed one of our alumni awardees, Dr. Deborah Sutherland, OAM, who also works in Nepal. Or another Rachel Barnard, who saw the need to keep 16 and 17-year-olds out of adult prisons in New York, and who has created a program, Young New Yorkers, which is now recognised by the Brooklyn City Council as an alternative to prison. Or Steph Crow from 2004. She led the Qaeda School Redevelopment Project, saving a school of 300 in a Kenyan slum area from closing. She works with community elders and local organisations to make a difference to the lives of children in that community. These girls, these Brisbane girls, these St Aidan's girls are using their voices, making a noise, making it clear they are not sitting in silence. They are using their power to be powerful and make a difference in the world. So my message to us all this evening, and in particular to our Year 12 graduates, is to remain audacious and assertive. Be the voice. Our community, our nation and our world need your intelligence, your insight and your commitment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Spiller. Let Me Know Beauty by Alan E. Naplan is a piece which reminds us to remain in touch with things of beauty, both in the inner world of our own minds and thoughts, and in the outer world of our experiences. While notions of beauty change from person to person and place to place, this piece exhorts us to stay aware of the beauty around us, in the things we hear and in the things we see. And of course, the shared experience of beauty magnifies the impact of the experience, and this is why the arts are so important in education, in our society and in the lives of around. Tonight, Let Me Know Beauty will be performed by the Awards Choir, consisting of students from our middle school, Children's Crossing, the Senior Chorale, and the St Aidan's Community Choir. Please welcome the choir and their director, Dr. James Cuskelly, to the stage. Thank you, Awards Choir and Dr. Koskeli. I am now delighted to welcome our guest speaker this evening, Dr. Kate Stringer, a St Aidan's Pass student from 1993. Dr. Kate Stringer is a specialist breast and endocrine surgeon, working at the Wesley, Northwest Brisbane Private and Holy Spirit Northside hospitals. After completing Year 12 and receiving an OP1, Kate studied medicine at the University of Queensland and trained in general surgery. Kate then undertook subspeciality training in breast and endocrine surgery as the Ramsay Health Fellow, and her supervisor then invited her to be a partner in the Brisbane Breast and Endocrine Surgeons practice. Kate specialises in the management of breast cancer, thyroid and parathyroid disease. Kate says it is St Aidan's policy of encouraging every student to participate in all areas of school life that stood her in good stead personally and professionally in life after school. Please join with me in welcoming Dr. Stringer this evening.
Thank you, Georgia. Well, it was 23 years ago that I was sitting where you all are, in my whites, with my parents at my very last speech night, as we called them then. If you'd told me then that I would be a surgeon, a wife and a mother, and invited back to speak here tonight, I wouldn't have believed you. To say that it's an honour to be here is an understatement. Mrs. Spiller asked me to speak to you on a topic that I'm passionate about. Well, there are many things that I'm passionate about, but one of which is young women reaching their full potential. This is a photo. This is a photo that I took 2 weeks ago. This is my surgical team. Don't we all look glamorous in our scrubs? You might notice that it's an all-female team. Each week I am in the operating theatre 3 times, and 2 out of those 3 times I have an all-female team. It's quite remarkable in many ways in this male-dominated field. So we have from your left to right my scrub nurses, then me, the anaesthetic technician, my surgical assistant who's a GP, and the anaesthetist. We don't often stop to think about what an achievement it is to have made such inroads into what are thought to be male-dominated fields. My hope is that photos like these become commonplace, that we don't even think about them in the future. While over 50% of medical students are women, only 30% of medical specialists are. There are many reasons for this, and obviously things need to change to make women enter the medical specialties. But medicine's not unique. This is common in many fields. Now, interestingly, in my year group, when I finished in 1993, we had, I can't remember if it was 9 or 10 OP1s, but 3 of us went into medicine and became doctors, and all 3 of us ended up as medical specialists. So these are statistics that St Aidan's should be very proud of. So how did I get here? Well, I didn't always want to be a surgeon. My only experience of medicine was our grumpy old male family doctor, and he certainly didn't seem to be enjoying his job. So I thought I'd become an engineer like my father. I enjoyed maths and science, and so it made sense to go into that field. And in my early part of Year 12, St Aidan's took part in an engineering work experience day. I went with another St Aidan's student and 20 other students from all over Brisbane to experience engineering as a career. We went to the BP oil refinery. We walked through the Gateway Bridge. There's a big hollow section underneath the road. And then we went to the Luggage Point sewage plant. Well, that was enough to put me off. I could not see sewerage in my future. I was then very fortunate a bit later in the year to be offered work experience with a father of another student at St Aidan's. He was a cardiologist at the Wesley Hospital. He organised an incredible week for me there. By coincidence, that's where I work now. I sat in on consultations, went on ward rounds, saw procedures such as colonoscopies, went to the Wesley Breast Clinic and saw mammograms, and then on my very last day, I was invited into the operating theatre. I saw open heart surgery. Well, that was incredible for a 17-year-old. That's when I knew that medicine was for me. The experience of the theatre, the staff, the equipment, and the surgeon's skill. It was mesmerising. It was mesmerising for all of about 25 minutes until I found myself on the floor being fanned by the nurses who caught me when I fainted. It was embarrassing, but it didn't put me off. So I got into medical school, which was 6 years of university, and then I did 3 years of residency at the Royal Brisbane Hospital, and then I applied and I got into surgical training. And what would follow were the hardest 5 years of my life. There were long hours, really high demands, lots of study, and the hardest exams you could imagine. I met many surgeons who tried to discourage me. Sadly, I was often told that women shouldn't be surgeons, women don't make good surgeons, and women just do surgery as a hobby until they have kids. But I love surgery, and it was very important to me to be true to myself and to my goals, and so I did my very best to brush them off. All of my supervisors were male surgeons until my very final year of surgical training in 2006. It was then that I worked for a female surgeon. She was incredible. She was technically brilliant, compassionate, and very patient-focused. And she somehow managed to balance work and home life. She made it all seem possible. Not easy, but possible. And I knew that I'd made the correct choice and that all the hard work was worth it. So I'm a breast and endocrine surgeon. Most of my work is treating breast cancer and other benign lumps in the breasts, but about 20 to 30% of it is endocrine surgery. Endocrine surgery is surgery for the thyroid gland and the parathyroid glands, organs that you might not have heard of. The thyroid is a butterfly-shaped gland that sits in the neck here, and it secretes a hormone that controls your metabolism. It makes all the cells of your body work. The parathyroid glands are 4 little glands that sit on the back of the thyroid, and they're about the size of an apple seed, and they control your calcium levels. So you need both of those organs to live. Thankfully, we have hormones that replace their function if you have to remove them. Most surgery for thyroid and parathyroid disease is for benign conditions, such as lumps that just cause discomfort in the neck, or if there's too much hormone secreted. Thyroid cancer, thankfully, is uncommon and has an excellent outcome. Surgery for thyroid and parathyroid disease is technically a bit difficult because of all the other structures in the neck. Breast and endocrine surgery is a common choice of subspecialty for women because most of our patients are women. Breast cancer is all too common, as we all know. We all know someone who's been affected by it. Over the years, I've developed a great deal of admiration for women. I'm really privileged to have been trained in the treatment of breast cancer. It's just so much more than performing the surgery. It's helping women with their diagnosis, guiding them through their treatment decisions, and then helping them through that treatment with a group of other doctors, oncologists. I've learned so much from my patients. Women are incredibly resilient. They have so many expectations placed on them, managing their family, their household, having a career, and they always tend to put themselves last. So when they're diagnosed with cancer, you'd think they'd just give up. But they don't. They really dig in their heels and they find the strength to deal with the cancer and everything the treatment entails. I really can't imagine doing any other job. My career is incredibly fulfilling and really has become all about the relationship between patient and doctor. And I have learned, and they've taught me, that everything we do should really be about the people around us. That's when life really becomes meaningful. It's not about the things we have, but about experiences, meeting people, and listening to their stories. And I've heard thousands of stories. Everyone has something interesting to say if you only give the time to listen. Now, juggling a career and family is difficult, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's very important in a stressful and busy career to have a balanced lifestyle, and I make sure that I give myself time to do the things I enjoy, such as spend time with my husband and children, get involved in the kids' school activities, and I even ran the sweet stall at the school fete. I regularly exercise. I play tennis, run and do Pilates, but I only took up exercise about 10 years ago again. And I can't emphasise to you all how much I wish that I'd continued the sports that I loved when I was at St Aidan's through to university. I've really learned how important regular physical exercise is. not just physically but mentally and socially. I'm not a champion in any of my sporting pursuits. I never have been. In fact, I mainly did swimming training at school for the awesome breakfast that we got afterwards that the mums made us. In the last couple of years, I've become particularly proud of completing a half marathon and taking part in a couple of triathlon teams. So I've worked really hard to have a fulfilling job, a wonderful family and lifestyle, but it isn't something that I have achieved on my own. No one is superwoman, and don't believe them if they tell you that. At times, we've had a nanny to help look after the kids. Both my husband and I have had periods at home while the other worked to look after the kids, and I have very supportive family and friends. As they say, we all need a village to get through life. Although there are still lots of inroads for women to make, I feel very fortunate to live in a time that I can have a successful career and home life. And I feel optimistic that with so many well-educated women coming through schools such as St Aidan's, we can only expect it to improve in the future. So I'm sure you're all sitting there wondering what the future holds for you and how you'll get to your goal. My advice is not to worry too much. My path to being a surgeon was very direct. It was hard, but it was very direct. But that's uncommon. Most people I know take very different paths to get to their goal. I know plenty of successful people who've started off in one direction and have moved sideways into a different degree or different job. A lot of successful people who never went to university to get to where they are today. You may do many different jobs until you get into your preferred position. And don't place a time limit on yourselves. Everything you do is a learning experience. It's part of the journey, and it will help you to grow and become the best version of yourselves. Now, some of the best advice I received, and I'd really like to pass it on to you, was to take every opportunity offered to you. Don't shy away or let fear hold you back. Sticking your neck out will pay off many times over. As Mrs. Spiller said, women tend to hold back. We let our insecurities stand in our way. We let somebody else take the job or take the opportunity. But if you can control that fear, and if you can say yes when you're offered the chance to try something new, say yes if you're offered a new role, say yes if they ask you to talk at your high school speech night, you'll find that it builds your strength and your confidence. You'll never look back from that. That's one of the things that makes women such amazing leaders, because we have to work harder and we have to harness that fear to get there. Now, the best quotes always seem to come from children's authors, and I love this quote from Winnie the Pooh, and I'd like you to take it on board. So promise me you'll remember, you are braver than you believe, you are stronger than you seem, and you are smarter than you think. And you all have a great head start. St Aidan's is the perfect platform from which to get started. You're not going to recognise it until years down the track, but you're being taught so much more than the subjects you've chosen. You're developing invaluable skills that will help you in all your future endeavours. You're being given the opportunity to identify your talents, give new things a go, develop extracurricular interests that will carry you through to adulthood, and you're also developing friendships that you will have forever. I want to take this last opportunity to thank my parents, Helen and Alan, who have come along to another St Aidan's speech night. Thank you. And my husband, Toby, for all their support. Even my father-in-law, Richard, is here, and he's another St Aidan's old girl father. I couldn't have gotten to this point without you. I want to thank my parents for sending me to St Aidan's. I really believe that I would not have done as well at another school. I felt nurtured and supported in all my endeavours. St Aidan's approach to their students is very unique. There's academic drive, but a very healthy focus on extracurricular activities. And that enables us all to find our talents and creates well-rounded women, self-confident in our ability to take on the future. So thank you to Mrs. Spiller, Miss Reardon for inviting me to speak tonight, and to Sue Russell, who convinced me to go into the Born to Fly magazine this year. I really can't describe how honoured I feel to be here. I want to wish all the Year 12s all the best for the future. It's extremely exciting. High school is fantastic, but just you wait until next year. Your life and all it has to hold is just the beginning.
Thank you so much, Dr. Stringer, for your inspiring speech. I would now like to invite Dr. Stringer to present the academic prizes and Ms. Gorey to announce the prize winners.
Introducing academic awards for years 4 to 6. Academic Excellence Awards for students in years 4 to 6 are based on their academic performance in core subjects. Congratulations go to the following students. In year 4, Academic Excellence Awards are presented to Camille Bloomfield. Stella Coulahan. Hannah Donkin. Amelia Perry. And Freya Woodman. In Year 5, Academic Excellence Awards are presented to Jadie Clark. Georgia Ferris. Cora Masterston. Rachel McFarlane. Charlie McGaw. And Nashoni Paul. In Year 6, Academic Excellence Awards are presented to Ezara Alfonso. Lakshmi Ananthan. Lucy Orton. Emma Aziz. Sheridan Bailey. Eve Braz. Elise Dowd. Lucinda Guest. Emily Hodge. Claire Lau. Jade Nguyen. Juliet Pepin. Layla Riemann. Rosie Sellers. Lucy Thompson. Eloise Wood. And Tian Yuan Yin. Academic Excellence Awards now from Year 7. Students who achieve a grade point average of 13 and above on a 15-point scale across all subjects studied, terms 1 to 3, receive an Academic Excellence Award. In Year 7, the Religious and Values Education Award goes to Morgan Kerr. Academic Excellence Awards are presented to Lucinda Davies. Xanthia de Boer. Rachel Eng. Priyanka Jaisinghani. Asini Jayasuriya. Rachel Leathers. Annabelle Lee. Amy Reithmower. Hannah Stopford. Rachel Wilkin. Esther Wong. Christine Yang. And Sophia Zhang. For Year 8, the Religious and Values Education Award and an Academic Excellence Award goes to Nabab Mogadam. Academic Excellence Awards are presented to Renee Byrne, Lillian Carley, Gabrielle Christo, Joanna Figurado, Jasmine Fleming, Yizang Guo, Anna Kyprios, Caitlin Lee, Youngmin Lee, Rebecca Moses Hills, Aishlyn Ralston, Harriet Robertson, Akshaya Selvarajan, Erin Sullivan, Elisa Tamai, Paris Teven, Alyssa Timoviva, and Georgina Whittle. In Year 9, the Religious and Values Education Award and an Academic Excellence Award goes to Bianca Leathers. Academic Excellence Awards are presented to Rebecca Che, Stephanie Fanshawe, Sarah Hodge, Ella Lau, Avalon Ormiston, Rachel Pavlovsky, Adelaide Pope, Caroline Puri, Scarlett Rowe, Imogen Taylor, Katie Vidler, and Elizaveta Zeltova.
I'd like to invite Mrs Wickham forward to announce the Year 10 and 11 subject awards.
We congratulate the following Year 10 students for their academic achievement. The Religious and Values Education Award goes to Emma Sargent. Academic Excellence Awards, Lucinda Bankowski. Alice Bowman. Isabella Cosgrove. Georgia Douglas. Caitlin Horton. Phoebe McAuliffe. Paige Milton in absentia. Emmeline Monteith. Lucia O'Donnell. Kira O'Sullivan. Rebecca Penn. Emily Robertson. Genevieve Rule. And Lily Van Gilst. Academic Excellence Awards in Year 11 are awarded to students who achieve a grade point average of 13 and above on a 15-point scale, equivalent to an A- standard on the best 5 authority or authority-registered subjects studied, as identified at the end of Term 3. The Year 11 Religious and Values Education Award goes to Hannah Robinson. We present the following students with Academic Excellence Awards. Natasha Horton. Elizabeth Hay. Chi Nen Lin. Emma Shutrop. Ruby Turner. Isabella Vung. Annalise White. And Leung Yu. I invite Mrs. Reardon forward now to announce the Year 12 subject awards.
Year 12 subject awards are given to those students who top a cohort in that subject as at their final piece of assessment in Year 12. They're also awarded to students who receive 4 VHAs or above on their senior statement and have a GPA of 13 and above on their best 5 subjects. The Religious and Values Education Award, Sarah Rogers. Accounting and Academic Excellence Award, Catherine Scales. Ancient History Shared and Academic Excellence Award, Eleanor Pakira. Ancient History Shared and Academic Excellence Award, Isabella Smith. Biology, Chemistry, English, English Extension, and an Academic Excellence Award, Sherry Zhu. Certificate 4 in Business, Tyler Brimblecombe. Certificate 2 in Workplace Practices, Caitlin Osborne. Certificate 2 in Applied Fashion Design and Technology, Georgia Moncrief. Chinese and an Academic Excellence Award, Xiaobei Liu. Drama and Academic Excellence Award, Paris Irwin. Economics, Lucy Clark. English Communication and Pre-Vocational Mathematics, Amelia Mills. In absentia. French, Modern History and an Academic Excellence Award, Maëlys Loth. German, Bronwyn van Wyk. German for an accelerated student and an Academic Excellence Award, Isabel Taylor. Graphics, Amelia Lewis. Japanese, Momoko Nagita. Mathematics A, Siobhan Brodie. Mathematics B, Mathematics C and an Academic Excellence Award, Laura Milton. Music, Music Extension and an Academic Excellence Award, Jenny Gunnison. Physical Education, Lily Fuller. Physics and an Academic Excellence Award, Isini Muthamuni. Visual Art and an Academic Excellence Award, Amelia Gibbs. The following students receive Academic Excellence Awards: Yingzhang Cheng. Isabel Howroyd. Susanna Hutchinson. Georgia Jacobson. Jacqueline Kilkenny. Madison Crummell. Camila Noendeng. Sasha Paulin. Eliza Sherrington. Emma Stubbs. Shiwei Tao. Jemima Walker. Liyang Zhang. The Outstanding Vocational Student of the Year is Isabella Burke. I'd now like to invite Tanya Eve from Barrington College forward to present the Diploma of Business Award. The Diploma of Business Outstanding Achievement, Emma Fry. And could I invite Dr. Elaine Roberts from Frontline Management forward to present the Diploma of Project Management Awards. The Diploma of Project Management Achievement Award, Millicent Morrison Davies. And the Diploma of Project Management Encouragement Award, Charlotte Carthew-Deleuze. And if I could invite Robin Cronenberg, General Manager, Partner Schools, Bond University, to present the Bond University Collegiate Scholarship Award. This award acknowledges students who perform not only on an academic level, but who also demonstrate exceptional personal talent and contribute significantly to their school and wider communities. The value of this scholarship covers 50% of tuition fees. And the award is presented to Camila Noandeng. And I invite Mrs. Karen Spiller forward to announce the Alumni and Pinnacle Awards.
Thank you. Reverend Paul Bland is going to present these awards, and I'm delighted to congratulate our 2016 Alumni Award winners. Our distinguished young alumnus is Chelsey Higgins, who finished school in 2011. I'll give you a bit of a bio while Chelsey comes up and before she says a few words. While in Year 10, Chelsey was awarded Best Overall Rider in the senior school. In September 2010, Chelsey suffered severe injuries while she was competing for Queensland at the Inter-School National Championships. In the event, her horse misjudged his stride, hit the fence and flipped over, landing on top of Chelsey. Suffering a major brain injury, Chelsey was in a coma for 9 days and intensive care for 2 weeks. She was completely paralysed on the right side of her body, had a fractured scapula, lacerated liver and perforated lung. Chelsey had to learn to walk, talk and function again. Now classified as a Grade 3 international para-equestrian athlete, Chelsea's achievements since then include 2012 Queensland Women in Sport Young Rising Star of the Year, member of the Queensland Academy of Sport 2012-16, Equestrian Queensland Para-Equestrian of the Year 2012, 13 and 14, selected on the 2014 Australian Para-Equestrian Elite Squad, selected on the 2014 Australian team for the World Equestrian Games in France. She was top 10 overall in the World Championships in 2014 and was named in the shadow team for the Rio de Janeiro Paralympics 2016. We congratulate Chelsey for her determination and perseverance.
Good evening, everyone. I do apologise in advance for my croaky voice. I've been a little sick. I've had quite a journey to be standing here in front of you after graduating 6 years ago. I had what you would call a pretty normal upbringing with my mum, dad, and my brother in the western suburbs on my family's acreage property in Pullum. My love for horses and inspiration for riding was evident from an early age. first learning to ride at the age of 3. I pursued my love for horses and equestrian competition, achieving some success as a schoolgirl competitor, but always quietly dreaming of one day representing my country at the Olympics. I was a member of the state championship winning team of St Aidan's for 2009 that won the overall points tally to clinch the state title for St Aidan's. In 2009, we were also named St Aidan's Team of the Year for our state title win. Everything was going really well with my school, my life, my friends and my riding. My very normal, active sporting life was about to be turned upside down. Just 2 weeks after my 16th birthday, in Year 11 at St Aidan's, my life changed forever. September 2010, I had a horrific fall at Australia's Olympic Equestrian Centre in Horsley Park, Sydney, at the National School Equestrian Titles. I know Mrs. Spiller just said this, but I did sustain severe injuries after falling from my horse, Stumpy, over a jump in the last 200 metres of my final event in the 3-day event competition. Following the fall, I had lapsed into a coma, stopped breathing and was incubated at the scene by the New South Wales care flight doctor who was attending the National Equestrian event. I remained in intensive care at the Liverpool Hospital for 9 days in a coma. I spent the next 3 months, as an outpatient at the RBH. Finally, after approval from my doctors and discussions with Mrs. Spiller and the teaching staff, I was able to recommence my schooling on a casual basis in grade 12. I was able to return in a greater capacity over the next 3 months. After a difficult year of adjusting to my fatigue and pain, I completed my senior year at St Aidan's after completing several modules after completing school in 2011. Having now travelled the full circle, it was this very night, 5 years ago, that I received an academic award for Year 12 workplace practices. I was finally back on the horse. I had graduated from St Aidan's and I was now ready to chase my dreams. Equestrian Queensland approached me early in 2011 as to whether I had an interest in being classified as a para-equestrian rider. I agreed, but there would be no more 3-day eventing for me. The following year, in 2012, I was awarded a finalist in the Australian Young Equestrian of the Year Awards in Sydney, and I was named by the Premier of Queensland, Campbell Newman, as a finalist in the Queensland Young Sportswoman of the Year in 2012. This I'm very proud of. I am today classified as a grade 3 para-equestrian rider. This classification is a term used frequently when referring to Paralympic sport and competition by grouping athletes with similar levels of functional ability into classes for equivalent competition. The outcomes of Paralympic competition then become based on athletic performance rather than on differences that exist in athletes' disabilities. As part of my journey, recovery and increased levels of success on the paddock, I was named the Queensland Para-Equestrian of the Year for 3 years running. My commitment and struggle to recover from my injuries and return to the highest level of competition were rewarded in 2014, where I was selected with 3 other riders to represent Australia at the World Equestrian Championships in Normandy in France. This is probably the proudest moment of my life. This was an amazing experience to finally represent my country in the sport that I loved at the highest level of competition. Over the last 6 years, my burning goal was to get to the Paralympics. And, whilst I was part of the shadow squad for both London and Rio Paralympics, I unfortunately missed out on team selection. It has been an overwhelming journey for me to reflect on the people I have met, the people who have helped me and guided me, and how much I've grown as a person following my accident. Just to be standing here in front of you all tonight is such a thrill. When I think of elite athletes, words like dedication, sacrifice, talent, effort, work ethic, and commitment spring to mind. But the two things that are least spoken about, but possibly most important, are support and opportunity. Without support and to be given the opportunity to compete, no athlete will realise their full potential and enjoy success at the highest level. Support and opportunity are exactly what my family, friends, St Aidan's, Equestrian Queensland and Equestrian Australia and the Australian Paralympic Committee have provided me over the last 6 years. I want to acknowledge all of them in my recovery and success for all their support and for providing me with the opportunity to compete and chase my dreams. I know, as all athletes love and feel a pinch of pride when we compete and represent our country on the world stage and strive to win whilst representing Australia, most athletes are outstanding young ambassadors for Australia. But we must remember our para-athletes have made the same commitment, have the same dreams and goals, give the same blood, sweat and tears for us to give our best. But many of them have had so many more challenges in their young lives to overcome. They really do deserve our support. I am really passionate to help build the awareness of these athletes who have overcome such monumental injuries and hurdles to get to the top of their respective sports and represent their state and even better their country. I hope by sharing a small part of my story with you will give you a greater awareness of para-athletes and their challenges and their challenging journeys to achieve their athletic dreams. I would like to thank St Aidan's, the board, the staff, my teachers and my former St Aidan teammates for this great honour the school has presented with me tonight. Congratulations to all students who are graduating tonight. My years at St Aidan's were truly the best years of my life, and the friendships that I made and the memories that I made I will never forget. And I wish you every happiness and success in the future. Thanks for having me and thanks for listening to me.
A remarkable young woman. The Caroline Amy Alumni Award for 2016 was awarded to Dr. Deborah Setterland OAM, who completed her studies in 1965. Her daughter Kimberly will be here to accept the award in her honour and to say a few words. After school, Deborah completed a Bachelor of Social Studies, Master of Social Work and PhD, all from the University of Queensland. In 1993, she returned to the university as an academic at the School of Nursing, Midwifery and Social Work. Upon retirement, she was appointed Honorary Senior Lecturer and supervises PhD students in the areas of financial elder abuse and client outcomes in social work. She's also the author of the Australian Social Work Text, Social Work and Human Service Practice. A volunteer in Nepal for over 17 years, her projects include leadership training for young people at Prisoners Assistance, empowering lower caste women by providing income-generating projects, support after the 2015 earthquake through a trauma recovery program, as well as English language teaching. We acknowledge and commend Deborah for her commitment to serving others, both through her personal and professional life.
good evening, everyone. It is a great pleasure to be here to accept this award on my mother's behalf. I know Mum was sorry that she couldn't be here tonight, but she is currently in her home away from home, which is a remote village called Tarwal in the rural mountainous region of Nepal. Deborah wanted me to extend her deepest gratitude to the St Aidan's community for honouring her in this way. She has fond memories of her time here as a student, and it is clear that this school's values of authenticity, care, confidence, responsibility, and connection deeply influenced my mother's perspective on both herself and the woman she wanted to be in this world. Deborah also wanted me to especially congratulate tonight's award recipients, but also to applaud the students' teachers, friends, and family, because we all know that it takes a village to raise a young person and help them to achieve success and be the best version of themselves. The future is indeed in very safe hands with such intelligent, hardworking, and compassionate young women. I would like to finish this with a Nepalese-inspired blessing that the Settler family holds dear to their hearts. May the mountains always beckon, may there always be rice in your bowl, and most importantly, may there always be loved ones to share it with. Thank you very much, and good luck and good night.
Thank you very much, Kimberly, and congratulations again to Chelsey and to Dr. Sutherland. We're very, very proud of them for living our sisters' values and philosophy. I'd now like to invite Dr. Kate Stringer forward to present the Pinnacle Awards. Duke of Edinburgh Gold Medal Award to Siobhan Brodie. The Petra Falk Memorial Prize for School Vice Captain Georgia Jacobson. Heartland Memorial Prize for School Captain Lucy Clark. We now move to the announcement of the Pinnacle Awards for Ducks and runner-up to Ducks in both our junior and senior schools. In determining the junior school Ducks, results from Semester 1 and Term 3 in the core subjects of Mathematics, English, Science, History and Geography have been used. Ducks is awarded to the student in Year 6 who has the highest grade point average across these subjects. In 2016, the runner-up to Ducks of the junior school, Eloise Wood. And the Enid Stukely Prize for Ducks of the junior school, Claire Lau. School Ducks is decided from the cohort of students who are exiting Year 12. The decision is based on school academic results and includes exit results from all authority subjects across the 2 years of senior schooling. The Helen Ames Prize for runner-up to the Ducks in 2016, Laura Milton. Thank you, Dr. Stringer. I'd now like to invite Professor Melissa Brown from the University of Queensland forward to present the University of Queensland Create Change Achievement Award together with the Barrett Prize for Ducks of the School. The Barrett Prize for Ducks of the School was named in honour of Helen Barrett, who is here tonight. This award was first presented in 1949. In 2016, Barrett Prize for Ducks of the School and the University of Queensland Create Change Achievement Award, Sherry Zhu. I now invite Reverend Jan Crombie, School Captain of 1973, forward to present the Old Girls Prize. She's already received that in 1973. It's lovely to see Reverend Crombie with us. She's come up from Melbourne. She's a previous member of our school council as well. The Old Girls Prize was commenced in 1931 and it is awarded to the best all-round prefect. It's my pleasure to acknowledge Lucy Clark.
Ladies and gentlemen, as our evening draws to a close, it is important that we thank our special guests for being with us on this occasion. We thank you very much, special guests, Mother Eunice, Reverend Paul Bland, Reverend Paul Bland, Dr. Kate Stringer, Reverend Jan Crombie, and Bishop Jonathan Holland.
Just before we have the blessing, can I add my own gratitude to Mrs. Spiller and the staff, both administrative and academic, of the school. It's been a terrific year, and I'm very grateful for the leadership of Mrs. Spiller and the staff and the school council, and also to wish all the Year 12s the very best in the years ahead. I hope God blesses you deeply and richly, and you find the years ahead very fulfilling and rich. You've heard a lot of talks today, and there's a lot of wisdom in the speakers we've heard. Would you like to stand for the blessing? God give you grace to follow St. Aidan and all the saints in faith and hope and love, and the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be among you and remain with you this day and always. Amen.
If you're not a Year 12 student or an old girl, would you please sit, because it is the old girls, past students of our school, and our current Year 12s who traditionally will stand and sing the first verse for us.
We will now invite Georgia and Lucy to lead the school in the Charmer. Would you please remain seated until the Year 12 students and form teachers have left the auditorium? Thank you.
I would now like to invite the Grade 12 girls to please stand and face the audience as we perform one of our last ever Charmers.